Joe, it's good to see you again. You just can't stomach the stock price here.
I really can't. Look, I think the company's doing tremendously well from a competitive standpoint, and I think the numbers are going to be good. But at some point, you've got to be able to justify the valuation. And even on the scenario we had, which is that this becomes a $100 billion company, I can't get there anymore.
So where do you stop on the stock price? I mean, there's been plenty of people who would have thought $1,000 seemed like a stretch, and that was, several $100s ago.
Yes, indeed. And obviously, when you've got a name that is growing like this, I do think you have to take a step back from, hey, what's next year's multiple and try and think holistically. And so we did say when we went to $1,500, hey, this company can be selling 2.5 million units in 2025. It can get a whole lot bigger, right? But if you get to the point where even on that kind of tremendously successful outcome, you still can't make the stock make sense, then it's time to say so. I don't think that bad things are going to happen. Frankly, I'm amazed that the competition hasn't done a better job. But everything has a price, and that's what we said this morning.
Well, and this is also the second time in 2 days we've had this conversation. So more folks on the street are starting to kind of turn more bearish now that it's run up so much, and now that we have tomorrow's earnings report, where it's expected to potentially turn a profit, a gap profit, I believe, right? And that starts the conversation about it going into the S&P 500. But again, a lot of this has been priced in, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, I think the profitability is going to be touch and go. We've got them at a little bit of a loss, but that's hard to call. And, they could. But I would submit that at a $300 billion market cap, probably people have figured that out already.
Yeah, and now that Elon Musk, I think, is the fifth wealthiest person in the world because of his exposure to the stock price run-up. Is there anything, Joe, that Tesla can do to take advantage of this high stock price? I mean, secondaries are kind of the obvious thing that comes to mind, but should they be using this more to their advantage, even if everybody thinks the price makes no sense? Should they be capitalizing on it?
Yeah, look, I'm a big believer in taking advantage of a high stock price and building a fortress balance sheet. This company is yielding a lot of free cash, and a lot of the concerns they had about liquidity have gone away. But honestly, if I were them, I'd say, hey, why not take advantage of this to put even more money on the balance sheet? They are going to need to build a number of factories over the next 4 or 5 years if they want to become a 3 million unit company, and that costs money. So if I were Elon, I'd be figuring out a way to put even more money on the balance sheet, even though the balance sheet's quite solid as it is.